All right, well, let's go back to Lily and switch gears, maybe get a science question.
This one asks, what part of an animal is most likely to form a fossil? Fur, skin, muscle, or bones?
Sure. Okay, so I guess I'm thinking about this. The first thing I'll do is refer people back to a show that we had last week. I believe it was Wednesday of last week, and we talked about, there was a question asked about what are the conditions that make fossils, that allow fossils to be preserved. And those conditions were that you had to prevent essentially the breakdown of the compound, and then that you had to prevent the breakdown of the compound by aerobic bacteria, by anaerobic bacteria, and also you had to bury it quickly. So thinking about this question, the way to think about it is skin, muscle, fur, these types of materials are the parts of an animal that are going to degrade most easily. So it's most rare to preserve those things, mainly because when an animal dies, those parts of the animal are usually decomposed of fairly quickly. Whereas the bones, I think this is an obvious thing to say, bones take longer to decompose, and so there's going to be a higher chance that bones will be preserved as fossils. But ultimately, it's the same conditions for making skin fossils or muscle fossils as it would be for making bone fossils. What you need to do is you need to very quickly bury whatever it is that you want to preserve as a fossil and keep it away from oxygen. The keeping it away from oxygen is going to prevent most things from decomposing, whatever the material is. And when fossils form, what's really happening is it's not that we're really just saving the piece of whatever it is. It's not like we're saving a piece of skin, like we're locking it away, and when we find it, it's just that piece of skin found locked away, or that we're saving a piece of bone. What it essentially is it's whatever this material is getting covered in rock. It's not being allowed to be decomposed. And then slowly over time, the surrounding rock is remineralizing whatever the material is. So there's an exchange that happens between the organic compounds that make up the bone, the skin, the muscle, and the rock around it, to the point where the bone or the skin or the muscle becomes rock itself. And so essentially remineralization is the replacement of that living organism tissue, or dead organism tissue in this case, with rock. So when you find, and skin fossils and muscle fossils do exist, they're just much rarer than bone fossils, simply because, again, it's going to be more likely that skin and muscle and fur are decomposed of before the burial of the material occurs. So the simple answer to the question is bone is going to be the most likely thing, but it is totally possible under the right circumstances to preserve softer tissues as fossils.
Subscribe! Come on, push the button.
You know you want to.
Do it.